Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Liza's BLTs. What's a BLT? BLT is a body love talk where we talk about everything from emotional eating, stress, anxiety, self-care, self-love, boundaries, confidence, and everything in between. Who am I? I am Liza Lomax. I am a transformational mind, body, and food coach. So I get to help folks drop weight without dieting, without exercising. And how do I do that? By helping them transform their relationship with their body. So today I'm going to talk about, it's going to be continued or kind of tailed off from the last video I posted about emotional hunger versus physical hunger. So today I want to talk about how to identify your emotional eating triggers. So the first step in putting a stop to emotional eating is identifying your personal triggers. What are you triggered? What situations, places, feelings make you reach for that comfort food? Most emotional eating is linked to unpleasant feelings, but it can also be triggered by positive emotions as well, such as rewarding yourself for achieving a goal or celebrating a holiday or a happy event. I know also often people will say, I went and I worked out at the gym so I can reward myself with food. No. You're just creating more disordered relationships with food, which is a whole other topic I can talk about at another time. But rewarding yourself for achieving those goals is you're doing yourself a complete disservice. So common causes of emotional eating, one is stress. So ever notice how stress makes you hungry? It's not just your mind. When stress is chronic, as it so often is in our chaotic, fast-paced world that we're living in, your body produces high levels of a stress hormone called cortisol. So cortisol triggers cravings for salty, sweet, fried foods that give you a burst of energy and pleasure. The more uncomfortable stress in your life, the more likely you're about to turn to that food. You're about to turn to food for emotional relief. Okay. Stuffing emotions. Eating can be a way of temporarily silencing or stuffing down uncomfortable emotions, including anger, fear, sadness, anxiety, loneliness, resentment, shame. While you're numbing yourself with food, you can avoid the difficult emotions you'd rather not feel. So stuffing emotions down, which a lot of us do that. Boredom or feelings of emptiness. Have you ever ate simply just to give yourself something to do to relieve boredom? I have so many times. Or as a way of filling that void in your life. I have so many times. You will feel unfulfilled and empty. And food is a way to occupy your mouth and your time. In the moment, it fills you up and distracts you from all those underlying feelings of purposefulness. Can I say that word very well? Purposelessness and dissatisfaction in your life. So childhood habits. So think back in your childhood memories of food. Did your parents reward you with good behavior, with ice cream, take you out for pizza when you got a good report card, or serve you sweets when you're feeling sad? That's what happens. You know, you get an A on a report card, woo, we get some food, yay! Or we get some ice cream, yay! Those are setting us up for very disordered relationships with food. These habits can often carry over into adulthood. They most likely carry over into adulthood. Or your eating may be driven by nostalgia for cherished memories of grilling burgers in your backyard with your dad, or baking or eating cookies with your mom. Mine was my grandmother used to make some of the most delicious meals, and every time I would make that food, it created this nostalgia and brought back those memories of her. But I would eat too much, and I would eat an excessive amount. And I'd always want to feel those feelings of that nostalgia and remember her. But again, it wasn't good. It was doing myself a complete disservice. Social influences. How many people struggle with emotional eating when it comes to social influences? Getting together with other people for a meal, can be a great way to relieve stress, but it can also lead to overeating. It's easy to overindulge simply because the food is there and because everyone else is there and everyone else is eating, and you don't want to look like a fool just sitting there not eating. You want to eat and enjoy the conversations and enjoy the company. You might also overeat in social situations out of nervousness, or perhaps your family or circle of friends encourages you to overeat. And it's easier to go along with the group. Peer pressure. Yes. So those are some of the ways you can identify your emotional eating triggers. Which one is yours? Which trigger is yours? Which one are you really, really good at? Are you good at the stress? Are you good at stuffing the emotions? Are you good at eating when you're bored or feeling empty? Do you have a lot of childhood habits? Or is it just plain social influences? Really take a look at what's going on in your environment and what you are struggling with, and why you turn to that food, and what's the reasoning behind that. If you can identify some of those triggers, then you can work on successfully moving out of that emotional eating roller coaster, merry-go-round, hamster wheel, whatever you want to call it. So really take a look at some of those things, some of those triggers. And if this is something that you really, really, really struggle with, I encourage you to reach out to me. This is what I do. This is what I help people with, is emotional eating and emotional struggles. And emotional eating, again, is just a symptom of something that you're avoiding, something that you don't want to have a heart-to-heart, face-to-face conversation about. So what don't you want to have a heart-to-heart about? What don't you want to face? When you figure that out, that's when you can start flipping the switch, working on those triggers, working on those habits, those behaviors, those stories you've been telling yourself. So if this is something that you're really struggling with, I encourage you to reach out to me. I can get you to where you need to be, where you want to be, where you desire to be. So that's it for Liza's BLTs. Tune in next week for another rousing topic, and be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you get notifications when I drop new videos. And check out some of my other videos and some of my other topics that I talk about. So have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.